see CodeIgniter for half an hour, maybe image resizing and files another half an hour, and questions another half an hour. Okay, so first half CodeIgniter. I have to install CodeIgniter, so I'll be telling you guys from installation. Okay, you may be knowing about installation, but I'll be telling about that. So I'm going to share my screen here. So let's see. I hope you guys can see my screen. Yeah. Okay. So this was what we have done yesterday. There's a slight error here, so I want to fix that error. I really seriously don't like buggy programming. I can't just really leave it. Okay, this is the problem. So how do we fix this problem? Okay, so you guys have to know this. To destroy a session, what is that? What we are supposed to use to destroy a session? Yes, what is that thing to use to destroy a session? But only one part. Let's say session underscore destroy will destroy the entire session. So I just want to do only one variable. Let's say I only want to do this session image. For that, unset. Alright, unset will destroy the session. So let's see. I refresh again. So the session is destroyed. I mean, it's not just session, it's unsetting the variable, so it will be removed completely, the variable scope and everything. Okay. Well, unset will remove the scope of the variable, and undefined, so it's undefined, just undefined, like the variable is not defined. So when I try to print again, it says undefined. So when the variable is unset and when I try to do it, okay, it says undefined. The variable is undefined because it cannot find that variable. Okay, so let's see CodeIgniter. So you see here, I always bookmark that CodeIgniter here. So click on CodeIgniter here and download CodeIgniter home. So Alice Lab, download CodeIgniter. Okay, click OK. It has been downloaded. Go to the folder, cut it, always cut it, go here and paste it. This is the file, so I'll unzip it. Extract to CodeIgniter 2.1.4. So where is it? Here. Okay, it's right there. So here what I do is I just rename this as sample. Okay, I renamed it as sample, and here I don't need user guide, just delete it. I've deleted it. Okay, and I don't need even these. Okay, all I need is application, system and index. Okay, so let's see there. Localhost sample, right? Now that's it right here, CodeIgniter. So I want to change this particular thing into a different one. Okay, so to which one? Let's say, do you have any files here? So let me go here. Do you have any styles? Yeah, I'll show you. So let's do one thing. Let's put our blog application there. Okay, so I go here, blogger. So let me download that here too. So I'll say open folder. There's a sample. I'll say okay, it is open here. Okay, so now here's the trick. application. Okay, all you need here is the config file, the database file, and the roots file. You only need these three here: the config, the database, and the roots. Okay, so let's not discuss about those. And the next is controllers. So this is the controller, it is heading welcome.php. So the file name and the class name should be the same. Okay, the file name and the class name should be the same, and it should extend the base controller. So ci_controller is a base controller over there. Now you see here, this is nothing but, this is a method, index like something, index.php. You see this index.php, what does it do? Index.php, what does index.php do? Home page or the default page. So the default, it's going here, default, it's coming here. So in here I'm loading the view. Okay, it says load the view welcome_message. So you go to views, this is the file it's loading. So what I do here is I'll just remove everything. I removed everything. Okay, and I'll say h3, I'll say you welcome to my blog. Okay, welcome to my blog. So let's see, I go here, I refresh, I see welcome to my blog. Now in here what I do is let's take our blogger application, or let's take our image application. Okay, I'll copy this, I'll paste it, I'll just paste this in our welcome, I'll save it. Okay, now let me refresh this. You see here, that's it, that's CodeIgniter, it loaded. Okay, so this is where you take care, and there is model, there is controller. So it's quite simple, but it's time taking. Now how do you store them in database? How do you navigate from one page to other page? And CSS, where do you put your CSS? There's a lot of things. So I'm not going to discuss that here. I'm going to discuss that in a session where I hope I can teach CodeIgniter if time permits. So what do you think now? How complex it is? In controller, give me 1 second. So you upload the files outside the application folder. Okay, when you upload the files, okay, so I'll just explain the order in which you have to do things in CodeIgniter. So you see that structure over there, right? So in that structure, your CSS, your JavaScript, your images, everything which is not related to PHP code, okay, those things, okay, will be out of the application folder. Okay, those things. So what should be inside application folder? Your controllers. You are not supposed to add anything on your application folder. All you got to do is like write your controllers, your models, and your views. Okay, so controller is a router. So what controller does is, controller will make calls to database, get data, and give it to view. If there is no database, no data, it will directly load the view. If there is no database or data involved. Okay, so that's one thing. And model has all the database connections, and controller, the goal of the controller is to, suppose you have URLs, different URLs, right? In your controller is a class, okay? In your controller you have methods. Those methods are nothing but your URLs. So you see www.tutoslive.com, okay? let's say Tutoslive.com. The controller there is the main controller over there, and when you say this, that means that is a method actually. And when you say www./40, that means it's a query string. Now 2 query strings, now 3 query strings, 4, like such. So the URL is something like this. This is the controller, this is the controller, this is a method, and these are the parameters, and it takes time. Don't worry, just keep experimenting. That's what. For instance, I'll show you how to say I told you, right? That's, let's go here to our controller, or let me just share the screen. Okay, so I share the screen here. Or this is a controller, right? So what I do here is, I said it's a query string, right? Let's first pass the data here. I'll say array, okay, array name, I'll say Sagar, let's say. Okay, I want to print this here. I'll print it here. You see, PHP echo $name. Let's see what's happening there. Okay, what I've done is I'm passing values somewhere else. So let us use small, because I don't use capitals for names. So let's come back here and let's do this. You see here the name is printed. So that's how you pass variables to view. Now let's do, I can't really, because we need a database and stuff. So I'm gonna stop it here. So you try doing experiments. So there will be a model also here. The model is empty now because this guy did not give a model. The model is completely empty. Okay, and what else we have here? That's a view. You can write views, you can load those views. Instead of welcome.php, you can write a different view and load it here. Okay, load it here. Instead of welcome underscore message, you can add something. I'll say Sagar, let's say. Okay, and what I do is I'll create a new file here. Okay, this is a different view. So what I do, I'll just print the name. Let's see if it's printing or not. I'll save this. The name, whatever the name I have given there to load the view, Sagar, right? I say sagar.php. Let's see if it does that or not. So here you see that this is that view. So all you gotta do is like just hook the views. That's the beauty of a framework. Now I don't want this view to load, I want this view to load. So I don't have to write entire code. All I have to do is like change the view name. So that's the beauty of a framework. Yeah,